I will call you back again to unwrap the lecture on C# programming, and in this lecture we'll go ahead and look at present parameter by reference. We are able to create a simple code that was able to have also pass parameters by value, and I told us that we are going to look at another type of that will help us to print out values and swap the numbers. We're going to use exactly the same logic we used in the previous lecture that didn't swap the numbers. We're going to use exactly the same logic right here. Now let's go ahead and do that, but here is going to be by reference, okay, and no longer by value. So let's go ahead and create a class, and let's go that public void num swap. Alright, so public void num swap, and then we're ahead and pass in two variables, and the variable is going to be integer variables, okay? And now we're going to use reference. So to use our reference, go ahead and say ref, call it reference, and ref int x, and ref int y. Alright, so this is the difference between these two. And then remember, we're not going to return anything because we're using void. Okay, so whenever we call void, it means we're not expecting to return anything. And let's go ahead and say int change close semicolon, and then go ahead and say change is equal to x, and close semicolon, and go ahead and say x equal to y close semicolon, and go ahead and say that y is equal to change. So what it means is we put a value of we save the value of our x inside change, and then we put the value of y into x, and then we put the value of our change into y, and remember that change is already saved, x is already saved into change. And as I told you, we're not going to return anything. Alright, so go right inside there and declare two variables, initialize the variables of our integer x, integer w equal to 80 per semicolon, and int z equal to 100 and per semicolon. Now go ahead and call the class program, and I'm going to say program p equal to new program, and then go ahead and put a semicolon at the end. Alright. Okay, so we'll go ahead and write console. Let's go ahead and say console dot. So console dot write line. We'll go ahead and tell the user to, okay, the value of w before swapping equal to, let's go ahead and show the value of w before swapping, parabolic comma, and set w for a semicolon at the end, and go ahead and say console dot write line, and then go ahead and say the value of z before swapping equal to 0. Then go ahead and put z, and go ahead and put a semicolon at the end. Now let's go ahead and say p dot non-swap, so call the class and the method, and then pass in the value of w and z, and to pass in that, go ahead and use ref w comma ref z. Remember that is by reference, so go ahead and put a semicolon at the end, and now go ahead and copy this right here, so there's no need saying typing that from afresh. Go ahead and paste that right here, and that changes to value of w after swapping, and then changes to the value of z after swapping. Now we need the console to be steady, so the read line, the read key, and go ahead and put a semicolon. So now if we go ahead and run this code, I believe it's gonna work out fine. Go ahead and run this code, and everything will swap smoothly. So right now you can see the value of W before swapping is 80 and the value of C before swapping is 100 and the value of W after swapping is now 100 and V is vice versa. Can you see that? You can see that this were swapped. Okay, and we actually use the same logic we created in the previous lecture. So in this case, you can see that the array output is now visible and you can be able to see the change at the output. But in the previous lecture, we're able to do that internally without you seeing the change. But now you can be able to see the change and see how beautiful it looks. So put this code down on your own system, plural notice, and in case if you have any question, please go ahead and use the question in the answer section and practice more on Boolean parameters by reference, and you're going to learn more. That okay? So thank you so much, and if you have any question, please go ahead and use the question and answer section, and I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video lecture.